Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Ibrahim Traoré's era. Today, we are not just telling a story. We are witnessing a miracle. We are watching a young African soldier, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, do something every Western-backed leader before him said could never happen. He has done what the world called impossible. He has defeated terrorism without the West. For years, Burkina Faso was known as the land of sorrow. The Sahel was called the Desert of Blood. Over 7,000 innocent civilians, farmers, mothers, teachers, children, lost their lives. Over 900 brave soldiers died trying to defend their homes. Every week brought new attacks, new funerals, and new tears. The Western world kept saying, "Without us, Africa cannot survive." They sent troops, they sent advisors, they sent drones, but the violence only grew worse. Because the truth is, terrorism in the Sahel was never a natural problem. It was a plan. Those so-called terror groups were created, trained, and funded by the same powers who pretended to fight them. The goal was simple: to make Africa weak, divided, and dependent, so that the gold, the oil, and the minerals could continue flowing to Paris, London, and Washington. That was the game. Chaos for profit, fear for control. Then came 2022. A 34-year-old soldier stood up and said, "Enough." Captain Ibrahim Traoré refused to bow. He took the power back and promised a new Burkina Faso, strong, independent, and free from the colonial playbook. He knew that you cannot win a modern war using old borrowed tactics. You cannot fight Western-controlled terror with Western advice. So, he rewrote the rules. He called the youth to rise. He opened the doors of the army to every son and daughter willing to fight. In 2 years, 12,000 new soldiers joined the force: police, airmen, ground troops, and volunteers. He rebuilt the army from the ground up, not as servants of foreign generals, but as guardians of their own land. And the results? Incredible. While Western countries tried to stop him from buying weapons, Traoré turned east and found new friends. Just this year, the Burkinabè army received 3,200 new weapons for the ground forces and 40 brand new fighter jets for the Air Force. This is not just equipment, this is power, real African power. The result? 92% of the terrorist zones in Burkina Faso have been reclaimed. Yes, you heard that right, 92%. The areas once ruled by fear are now free. The same land that was bleeding is now breathing again. Over 1,000 schools that were closed because of attacks have reopened. Families who fled are now returning home. This is not luck. This is leadership. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has done in 2 years what France and the West couldn't do in 10. How did he do it? He didn't just fight the terrorists. He fought the colonial mindset that created them. For decades, Western countries said, "We will help you fight." But every time they came, the problem grew worse. Because their help was not designed to fix Africa, it was designed to control it. Traoré saw through the lie. He told his people, "Our security will be handled by our sons and daughters. Burkina Faso will defend itself." He trained not just soldiers, but ordinary citizens. Farmers, students, and workers joined a new movement, the Volunteers for the Defense of the Fatherland. These were ordinary people protecting their villages with courage and pride. They became the eyes and ears of the army, turning every field, every forest, every road into a shield of resistance. Together, they changed the game. And when the West blocked weapons and sent sanctions, Traoré didn't beg. He looked elsewhere, to nations willing to treat Africa as an equal. He secured modern equipment and air power. With new fighter jets and ground support, the Burkinabè army launched powerful strikes deep inside enemy territory. For the first time in history, the terrorists were hunted, surrounded, and destroyed. Burkina Faso went from defending to attacking. And the enemy, those ghosts who once ruled the desert, vanished. The world was shocked. Western media went silent. There were no headlines celebrating the victory, no praise from the UN, no applause from Paris. Because this victory exposes everything. The lies, the games, the real reason they never wanted Africa to win. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has proven that Africa doesn't need the West to fight terrorism. All Africa needs is courage, unity, and true sovereignty. Today, Burkina Faso stands proud. The land once full of tears is now full of triumph. The schools are open. The villages are alive. The flag flies higher than ever before. But make no mistake, the West is not happy. France and America have lost their grip on the Sahel, and they will not stop plotting. They will send propaganda, spies, and lies. But the Sahel is awake, and this time it will not fall. Because this war was never just about guns, it was about freedom. And Captain Traoré has given the Sahel what it lost long ago: hope. Burkina Faso is no longer begging, it is leading. The Sahel is no longer a victim, it is a symbol. And Traoré's message to the world is clear: Africa can defend itself. Africa can lead itself. Africa can win, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of Africa's second independence. This is Ibrahim Traoré's era.